When Hurricane Harvey hit, it landed in Port Aransas and Rockport first. The spotlight quickly turned to Houston, but many who live on the coast say they're trying every bit as hard to get back to normal. Port Aransas, for example, is a popular destination for the spring break crowd. But can those vacationers return? We sent our Kevin Reese to find out in this WFAA original.
If you cross the Port Aransas ferry these 6 months later, boarded-up convenience store is the first building you'll see. As dump trucks race past you in the other direction, still hauling hurricane-damaged pieces of Port Aransas away. And since the police station and courthouse are among the buildings considered a total loss and scheduled to be torn down,
so we were ground zero.
You'll find the police chief.
It was pretty devastating. At
a plastic table in his temporary office, next to all the empty audience seats in the chambers of the Port Aransas City Council.
It's been interesting.
Interesting is the kindest word Scott Burrows could find for a tourist town with damage to 90% of its buildings, upwards of 100 homes destroyed, and dozens of businesses, much like the dolphins outside the gutted remains of the Bayquest souvenir store, lifeless and still, and waiting for the Hurricane Harvey nightmare to end.
Okay, this is Pioneer.
And that includes the police chief himself.
It's going to be a 100% loss.
Who took this video of the damage immediately after the storm and found his own home unlivable too. 6 months later, it's also still being repaired.
I don't know that we'll ever be what we were before. I mean, the question is, are we going to be better or worse?
What is definitely worse all these months later is the hotel and rental condo problem. Take the Klein's Landing high-rise, for example. Empty, boarded up, and facing maybe 2 years of repairs. The Dunes condos, 11th Street at the beach, battered and bruised too. Its reopening schedule unknown.
But when you get down to housing in terms of hotels or motels, that's a problem.
A problem the Port A mayor admits is his town's biggest hurdle. Restaurants and bars are reopening at a slow and steady pace, but with spring break around the corner, vacationing Texans will need places to stay. And right now, of the 4,000 hotel rooms in Port A, only an estimated 25% are ready. People sometimes give a 3 to 5 year time frame to get back to where you were. Do you guys have that in mind? Or
absolutely.
It could be that long?
Yeah. I think a year from now, if I'm sitting here a year from now, we'll still be working on this issue.
It's cold here today, only about 45 degrees on the beach in Port Aransas, and by the time it warms up around spring break, the hotel situation here is not expected to be all that much better than it is right now. But to fill these empty beaches, they need tourists to come here anyway. Tourist dollars fuel this town, and it's tourist dollars that will help piece it all back together again.
There's a group of about maybe 10 to 20,000 hardcore partiers that are here every year, and they're going to be here.
Yeah,
they come
regardless.
Right, they come
whether you're ready for them or not.
We're ready for them. I mean, our operation plans are not going to change.
The police chief says he and the same group of county and state police agencies who've handled spring breaks for the last 50 years are ready for this one too. They just need the spring breakers to pack their patience, bring their money, and help bring Port Aransas back.
There's literally millions of people in the state of Texas that consider Port Aransas their place, and they're coming to support us. They'll be here in the summertime, and if we can keep our head above water until we get some more condos and hotels up and running, I think we're going to be just fine.
Fine on beaches that were pretty much the only thing Hurricane Harvey did not destroy.
Come. The beach is wonderful.
And with help, they're counting on all of Port A to be just as wonderful eventually again. In Port Aransas, Kevin Reese, Channel 8 News.